Hurts throwing right away. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Throwing is Hurts. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Hands it off out of the gun. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. You and I have talked about it before, but what about the year this guy's had on the ground? You come in as a rookie and in the discussion as MVP.
And people have always told me, running back, one of the easiest positions to break in, but not to this level. If you're talking MVP, that means he's had a sensational season.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And this will be a touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Barons will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And oh, right away, he lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 61 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back...
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Barons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Second and 15. Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first two drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over first and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown! A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Barons take a 3-touchdown lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
Here we go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
11 more on that one and another first down.
I have to admit I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Hurts. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. 21-0 our score after 1. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
Let's go now.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Operating from the gun, Douglas. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And this is so uncharacteristic for him this season. Back-to-back interceptions from a guy who's taken really good care of the ball so far this season. Got to give credit to the defensive coaches, the players on the opposing sideline. Excellent preparation, even better execution.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Ready, break.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
The kick by Lutz is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together in this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Slot man moves right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right.
Red, cycle. Black ultra. Ready?
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say punt the football there.
So we're changing to analytics as we go, right?
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you're trying to force plays, right? You're trying to get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there, and you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game, but ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there. Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Packer 11, Packer 11.
To throw again on second down. Hurts. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
79 Broncos. 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
They'll look to throw here. He finds his man, complete. That's Lloyd. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 24-yard line.
Luka 19.
He'll drop to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down without the 37. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Ready, set. Blue striker. Hey, green. Yellow.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the third time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Barons 31, Falcons nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Hey, go steal.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
As we've seen, their first two drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Barons will extend their lead here just before halftime. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Okay, right.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. No run back here to begin the half.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr, to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the wrenches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive.